Hello. Sorry about that. This palette is the palette I put together when I took Nathan Fowk's class on schoolism. I don't exactly remember what the colors in there, what they are, but it's one of the very few palettes I have that has some black. Oh, hi Mickey! Hi! So yeah, I usually pick up this palette when I want to do black and white landscape studies because it has the black and usually white gouache in there. Hi Val! Hi Grace and Paulo and Lee and Ian and Otto. If you hear some weird noises, Peko is having a case of the crazies. So, yeah. Yep, that was the kitty. The crazy kitty. She was acting all crazy on top of the fridge. Hi, Victoria. So yeah, I got a phone for references. She's completely crazy. So I got tape for the borders and current sketchbook, pencil, big eraser, crazy cat, this super cool brush rest that Did she break? I think she broke, yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear the ruckus she's making. That's the cat. It usually ends up with her going to the litter box. So if she does, I will have to go pick it up because I don't want to die. Okay, so I'm a bit awkwardly set up. I'll try to fix this just a bit. Okay. She just bolted, but the floor here is tiles, so she's got zero grip. So we always hear all the skis, 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 and then like a crash somewhere. Yeah, she sometimes does the boogie that no one likes, but also like she's toxic. I don't know what's up with that cat. Our theory is that she's so cute that the payoff like to balance it out, she is super stinky. So I usually try to pick up. Yeah, she have bolted. Good one. But yeah, I try to pick it up like as soon as she goes, so it doesn't stink up the place. Hi, Destiny and Connor. So I'm just, this is a rather small sketchbook, but still I like having some white borders, so I'm just gonna put down some tape. This is my, like, it's either this tape that is, I think it's like 18 millimeters, or something really, really skinny that like doesn't really work for this, so that's why the borders are kind of big. This is a A6 sketchbook, I think, by Hannah Mule. Oh gosh, she's here. Phone. Still the cat. I usually go to Pinterest because it's really easy to save up a bunch of reference on there. It's what I use for the cats or the pets when I draw pets, but it's also what I use for I have many boards of like landscapes and ruins and stuff. I think I'm gonna start with something not too difficult. Like I have this picture, if that registers, but yeah. And it's already in black and white, so that's a bit cheating. But I think I should find a color one. This sounds too easy. I need something a bit more difficult. Because that's the challenge, right? Painting something that's already black and white is not really a challenge. There, this one is kind of cool. Pico seems to have calmed down. How are you getting on with the Honey Mule? I've only just started in it, like I've painted just a few demos in there so far. So yes, I would say good so far, but the real test is gonna be when I'm through with all of it. Just sharpening up the red. I'm picking the red lead again because that's the one I have that picks up the best. But usually I would possibly pick something that's a bit lighter. Like if I'm just painting without streaming. Oh, that's okay, Lee. That's kind of cool. Wow. Closer look to what exactly? The sketch? Or the reference? Or... zoomed in. Hold on, it's gonna be a bit wobbly because you guys know what my zoom is like. Okay. Well, yeah, that's gotta do what I gotta do. Yeah, it's the manual zoom. Okay, so sketch, is that close enough? And again, maybe the reference. Trying to set it up so you can see it. Red Lab. Question, what paints do you use today? This is a mix. Is it? Oh yeah. It's the palette that I put together when I was taking Nathan Fowkes' class on watercolor and gouache on Schoolism, the website. And I think it's a mix of Daniel Smith and Winsor Newton. And one Holbein. Leaf green is decidedly Holbein. I'm not saying if this is my favorite palette or not. It has good things, it has bad things, but I've picked it up because it's the only palette I have. Well, one of the two palettes I have that has a black in it. I don't really use black. So if I'm doing this in black and white, it's gonna be Winsor Newton Ivory Black. Because I think, is that the, I might have Holbein. I would prefer Holbein. I'll check it out. And possibly White Gouache by M. Graham, if I can find it. Crud. Knew it. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I got the black I wanted and white and alright. So I always try to start with the basic shapes and proportions, but sometimes it's funny because this frame is not necessarily proportional to my reference. So yeah, I found Ivory Black from Holbein. I knew I had one, but I couldn't find it. Just, you know, rough shapes. And also, like, if you find something that you don't really like, you can edit it a bit. Like, as an example, there's kind of a tangent here where this hill dips right on the line of the building, and it feels like this leads also there, so I just decided not to have everything lead there, and I sort of like moved the low point of the hill just a bit further, so it's not all at the same spot. Oh, hi, Heather. Ah, Heather. I don't want to be broken all the time. Aw, Grace, that's so cool. Hi, Sam. Hi, Lana. Hi, Kitty. It's been a while since I've painted a black and white study, so hopefully it won't be too much of a mess. It's a really great exercise, especially if starting with the picture that's in color a bit, so you really have to stretch your brain and figure out what is light, what is dark, and how do I make it work. Okay. I'm trying to think of a brush. I really love using flat brushes for these. I don't know why. Oh, that's hard. So I got a small, a 1/4 inch. Just tackle and brush, super basic. And I want one that's a bit bigger, but I don't think I have one that's just a bit bigger. I'm gonna take this one. Angle brush from Codman. That shape I drew looks questionable. Of course, Heather, it does look questionable to you. So Destiny says, never keep your art supplies and computer in the same room. At night they order friends. That would be so funny. Okay. Did everybody see that? No? Okay, cool. Because my phone keeps shutting down. Okay. I want to start with the sky. That's usually what I prefer to start with because I figured that everything will go on top of the sky. So if I can put it in first. And it's also often like it's the lighter stuff. Everything that will go on the sky will be darker, so I can just cross over my shape and it's not gonna bother anything. I think I have a bit of chrome black left on this, so it's gonna be a mix of blacks. I would also enjoy just a piece of scrap paper. Oh yeah, I will show off my new flat brush just after I'm done with this this sort of wash thing going on. I think it's my first time using this Honey Mule sketchbook for that kind of work, so it's gonna be a learning experience. Yep, not sure. I keep picking up this stuff. This is not working out like I want, but it's okay. Okay. This is the head brush. It's a Skoda Ultimo flat from the Misled special set. It is so soft. It's really soft, but since it's Ultimo hair, it still has a snap. Like it's not pure squirrel. Pure squirrel is so soft. It's like useless a bit because you have to reshape your brush manually after each stroke. But this, I've used it on a couple of things and it was really great. Otto, if you eat your very last jammy dodger, do it with purpose. Okay. That's not really impressive so far, but we'll see. darn it. Okay. So yeah, by using white gouache, I don't necessarily have to stick to the idea that I gotta start from light to dark. If I want to keep some really, really whites on this paper, I have to keep in mind and not use gouache for that, because it's not gonna work as well. But for everything else, it's a bit more forgiving, so it's good for studies, because if you get it wrong, you can just sort of cover it in gouache and try to fix it. And also, I'm saying that, but there's no guarantee that it'll be good at the end. It might be a huge mess that absolutely doesn't work. That's also an option. But yeah, I'm trying. Which companies do you order from that are Canadian friendly? Dessert, Curry's, Amazon, Jackson's. That's about it. Yep. So Dessert, Curry's are Canadian shops. Amazon, well, we have our own Amazon, and Jackson's has really good prices on shipping, so it's really affordable. Hi, Malvina. The SAA is not super Canadian friendly. It's really average, like all the others. Jackson is the one with the best price and the best shipping. So I'm switching to the small flat brush. Do you have to let the layers dry if you are using gouache? It really depends. If I let the layers dry, it's gonna have a sharper line, and if I leave them wet, it's gonna blur more. But I don't really pay attention to it other than for that, because regardless of what I do, the gouache will be reactivated anyway. So I cannot really have something that is completely like, even if it's completely dry, it's not gonna affect, like, you can't really layer, not with these two colors. Yep, that's true. Ian says that gouache can blend nice into watercolor when wet, but it's not gonna spread as much. Okay, so you use with more of a drier brush. It really depends on what I want. A drier brush will give you some super nice texture, like you can get some more roughness. So if you want to have like some texture eventually, like for the rocks, that could be really nice. I could try to work it in here. But a wet brush is also really useful for other things. So yeah, it really depends. What I like is that you can layer back and forth, and it doesn't really change anything. And I don't know, coming from digital art in a way, it's sort of easier to really focus. You don't have to focus on technique as much. You can just focus on trying to get the proper balance of light and shadow. So I like that I can sort of work with just these two colors and layer back and forth and try to build something up that I'm happy with and that I've learned something. Well, I'm glad to see that the last Jammy Dodger was the best one. Now you can be sure that if I spot them somewhere, I'm gonna get a box just to try them out. Hopefully they don't have too much dairy in them. You can also rub stuff with your finger, which is kind of great and really practical. Because that's an extra tool you don't really have to take out. It's always there. I'm probably getting into too many details for what I want this to be, so I gotta tell myself to come back and to go with something a bit more simple, because this is a study and I'm really just trying to like capture the feeling of this photo, not make something like a copy or whatnot. Not that this looks like a copy or anything, but I think it's easy to fall into the idea of trying to replicate exactly what you see, but it's not always the best way to learn. Get too bogged down on the details. Oh, okay, so apparently the Jammy Dodgers have upped their game because they've made a new recipe. If you still have the packaging, Otto, what does it look like? Is it like a decent list of ingredients you can recognize? Or is it like standard weird cookie stuff? Because I am used to the American recipes for cookies and they are really bad. Like, yeah, sure, Oreos are vegan, but have you seen what goes into an Oreo? That's not... just makes me sad. The cookies are very simple, very easy to do. So why do you have to put all this weird stuff in them? I like the weird Oreos flavor, not necessarily to eat, but just to check it out and, and make fun of it, because some of them are really silly. We don't get the super duper silly ones here in Canada, but we still get like cinnamon roll and lemon, which is, you know, fairly decent. But I've seen a couple of weird ones. Okay, so the Jammy Dodgers have flour, raspberry flavored apple jam, okay, sugar, humectant, citric acid, flavorings, color, pectin, palm oil, and whey. Yeah, whey is usually from milk. I don't think you can get whey from anything else. But it's the last ingredient, so I will still eat a few and risk a possible stomachache. Funny thing is that it seems to be that I react mostly to American dairy, because I've eaten some unbeknowing to me, like when I was in Switzerland, and I ate some dairy stuff that I didn't know what was dairy, and nothing happened. No violent stomachache, nothing. So yeah, I'm thinking that it's maybe like Canadian or American cows that give me trouble, which is a bit funny on its own. I should. Well, thank you, Grace, for offering to bake me something. I could bake myself some stuff. It's just that there are two issues with that. Is that I do not enjoy baking all that much, and also I cannot resist baked goods all that much either. So, it's not ideal for health, considering that I spend a lot of time on my butt. Oh no, cyan. Though, to be fair, nitrite, anyway, that stuff is bad for everyone. Being allergic means you cannot eat this stuff, but it's not a good additive to meat in any case. It's one of those I think they suspect are not helping with colon cancer. So, I know that we try to eat nothing that has nitrite in it in here, and even if I don't eat meat or a lot of meat, all the meat we buy, even from Mr. E, we try to get it nitrate free, because it's not a good one. Oh, so Paulo is a baker. Ooh. What do you like baking, Paulo? Oh, wow. Otto, take a picture. So Paolo says bread, cakes, and tarts. Oh, that sounds delicious. Why is Heather talking about slime? Oh, I'm glad you like the sketchbook tour, Grace. I always try to have a bit in there that is not from the demos, so there's something new to see, at least a bit. Because yeah, I do a lot of my paintings is the demo paintings for whenever I review something. But sometimes I feel like it's a bit too like it needs something extra to make it worth looking at the full sketchbook tour, because it's all stuff you've seen. So, well, I presume that it's stuff most people have seen, but yeah. So I think this is a hot mess, and I think it's gonna be a hot mess for all its life, because I think I'm almost done. Almost. Pink slime. Well, I hope nobody tries to eat pink slime. It doesn't look super edible. And I'm switching to a really tiny brush because I want to get a bit of the window detail. And yeah, it's basically just black and white stuff, but I know it's gonna be awful if I try to do it with... Might be awful anyway. Do you know what pink slime is? Is that even edible? So what happened, Otto? Someone got arrested? Hi, faithfulness. Yeah, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Oh wow, chili con carne and beef bourguignon. My grandpa used to do really good beef bourguignon. Beef bourguignon? Whatever, that. Yes, my first language is French. which is why I get some really potent brain farts sometimes when I see words like something like beef bourguignon. It takes an effort because my instinct is to go with full French and say beef bourguignon instead. But at least beef and beef are almost the same. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry a bit, and I will quickly go to the bathroom. So, there. Okay. You should absolutely go full French. You've seen me go full French at the last one, I think. Okay, so pink slime is listed as finely processed beef, among other names. Oh, it's the weird stuff they make hot dogs, sausages from. Ew. Ugh. Oh no, kitty. Hi, Dread. Hi. Fitfulness says that they bought some white ink but can't seem to get it flowing through the nib. Is it a dip pen or is it a fountain pen? And we have Cyan in the chat, and Cyan is very knowledgeable about pens. Yeah, Stephen, I agree with you. Well, I don't go to McDonald's a lot. Like, I don't think I've been in 20 years. But, yeah, I still prefer my food to be carcass free. Yes, I'm just, wow, I'm kind of stuck because, well, this dries fast, but technically, well, I could do it on this page. I have the best clips in the world, and you cannot fight me on this. I'm afraid they won't show super well, but they are kitty clips. And this one has a pencil in its mouth, and this one has a book. And the smaller clip has like a kitty holding stuff. It says check on the back. and has another kitty holding stuff. So I'm fairly confident that you can't beat me in terms of awesome clips. Oh, hold on. Sorry. I don't know if there was doggy binder clips, perhaps, but yeah, I jumped on the kitty ones. Oh yeah, yeah, right. Otto, it's, you probably will, but I think these are from Japan. Where is the packaging? I saw it earlier today. Oh yeah. So yeah, this is the packaging. I kept it because it's sort of too cute. It's made by Mindwave. It's made in China, but it's a Japanese product and company. So yeah. Next segment now. I think it's clothes, like stuff to wear this summer. Okay, that's done. Gonna try to find a different picture, perhaps not a ruin. I think this one is fairly cool. I'm not gonna say this right, but Yosemite National Park in the US. A thing that I find really difficult with studying landscapes, not only in black and white but in color as well, is that it's hard to represent depth properly. Like I always struggle. I think everything looks flat and I'm never able to push back what I want to push back and sort of bring forth what I want to bring forth. Should I do this one in well, color? Not that there's a lot of color going on, but black and white or color? Yeah, I agree with Paulo. He says, I am really impressed with the writing instruments coming out of Japan. And yeah, Otto replies, we are a bit keen on that in Japan. And I agree. I think most of my pens, well, not most, but many of my pens are from Japan. Because you don't get like the rubbish that we get here. Like all the pens that I've bought, like here, they've all broken at some point, but for some reason, the pens I get from Japan, they all keep a bit better. They don't break as easily. Yosemite. Okay. So someone says color, someone says white. Color. Okay, color. We'll try to make the borders a bit smaller too, just because it's something I haven't tried, and this sketchbook is really small. Like I was sent this, I graciously sent this sketchbook by Hanemyo, but yeah, they sent me an A6, so it's a really good test to see how a smaller sketchbook does work out, but it's also really small. So sometimes I feel like my tape borders are eating away too much of the space. So I'm gonna try to, and it's not really proportionate to my format, so maybe I should just try and it's a bit more long, like high, sorry, it's a bit more high than wide, and that's too much crud. Yeah, okay, not centered, but top border is crooked. I think it's just the camera. Is it crooked? It's a tiny bit crooked. Is that any better? Okay, last time I redo this for that. Too bad. Nope, still crooked. I cannot seem to do a straight line. Okay. It's funny to read the chat about the fountain pens. Yeah, fountain pens. I have a few, but yeah. I am not a connoisseur. Yes, Heather is good at triggering the the YouTube censors. They're like, what? Someone said but. Are you sure you want to have someone saying but in your chat? If only they knew that almost all of these are about kitten butts and pantaloons. Okay, I will start from that. I'm gonna cheat a bit with the colors of the reference and just try to infuse it with a tiny bit more mood than the original seems to have. Also, I should have put a bit of water on all of these, especially the Winsor Newton ones and that pesky ultramarine blue from Daniel Smith, because it's French ultramarine and I don't like it. There hasn't been a single instance of me opening up this palette and not finding the ultramarine blue anywhere else. Like, the blob just doesn't want to stick to the palette, and that's something that always happens with the stupid color. No, I also prefer really broad writing nibs, little. Like, the juicier the better. Fine nibs are great if I want to do illustration, but for writing, I really prefer the juicier stuff. Yeah, high five. Okay, just while this dries a bit, I will. So this is really not a fancy pen. I think this is the opposite of a fancy one. But this is a small Kaweco Sport, and I got this super broad nib for this one, and I'm really enjoying it. Like, it's really juicy, and I'm like, this, yeah, there you go, like this. I like to be able to see the ink color and see the shading in the ink, and a lot of it. So yeah, really enjoying the fat nibs. Is it the BB nib? Possibly the double broad. Yep, it's a BB nib. So yeah, it's a really simple pen, but I like that it's super easy to carry and it's sleek. And there's one thing I don't like about pens is that when there's a huge gap, like a huge height difference between this part and this part, like if you unscrew it, this is the part that you can remove, but it's fairly like smooth. I've given away my Pilot Metropolitans because they have like a big nook. Anyway, they have a huge dent there, and I don't like it. It hurts. Yeah, that hurts a lot. Actually, it's not super pleasant. Well, this is drying, so I could go fetch my inked pens. So I have quite a lot TWSBI's Echo. I think I have like 4 of them. All different, no, not all different nibs, that's not true. I think one is broad and one is extra fine and some are fine. I got these that I really like. There is 4 of them, but I don't know where the 4th one is. Yep, that's me. I have a super fancy TWSBI diamond. Yeah, that was given to me for my birthday. And the other I have in there is this parallel pen and this Lamy in also like super calligraphy stuff. So yeah, I have a bunch of others, but they are not inked at the moment. And there is another one of these. I'm trying to remember what, I think it's like turquoise. There's a green and turquoise one like this, and I don't know where it is. So yeah, these I haven't seen a lot of people mention them, but I really like them. They're super sleek, super smooth. Not like what, like $15, and they come in, well, these haven't been used for a while, so it's kind of dry. But these are all medium. Yeah. And since they're made by Pilot, they have like this awesome Japanese quality to them. They're light, so I can draw with them, and I don't tire my hand. Yeah, that's a bit better. But yeah, these are great. I really like the Echoes Clear because they can match with everything. This one has a sparkly ink in it, I think. Yeah. I don't use them enough. I should use them more, but I don't write that much. That's the problem. I wonder if this one will still write. Yeah. I've put the, well, I should have shaken it before, but it's the Caroube de Chypre ink by J. Urban. it should have a bit of a sparkle in it when it's dry. I don't have a fountain pen video. Yeah, I really like parallel pens now that I know a bit about calligraphy. Like, I wasn't quite sure what I would do with those before, but now that I've learned a bit... Oh, I don't think it's gonna register super well, but it's like there's a bit of a sparkle in the net I wrote, and the aloe hasn't dried off yet. But yeah, sparkly inks, they're great. I will keep the suggestion in mind to use the pens, but like I said, a lot of them are not inked, so I'm not sure. I could do one about the pens that I like to use for drawing. It's the platinum carbon pen and what's that one? It's the... I have like a ton of them because I like them so much. They're the plastic ones by Pilot. They have a name that starts with K. Anyway, they have faces, smiley faces on the nib, and they are great for drawing and inking stuff. You've seen my uncial. I think it's called Small Caroline, something like that. I have my only calligraphy book is in French, so nope. The sparkly ink, the ink is made to be sparkly, so I haven't had any issues with clogging, but then again I tried to put it in the bigger nibs, so yeah. I think the fact that the nib is bigger, it's not gonna perhaps clog as much. Oh yeah, I had a Parker pen as well, but it broke like super fast. I still have it. It's held together with tape, but yeah, I love these. These write super smoothly. Like the Parker pens with the that have designs on them. Okay, so let's try this. It's usually a lot easier to work with fresh paint for these kind of things rather than dry paint. Ouch. Are you grown in Japan? What? The thing with gouache is that it usually dries a lot darker than it looked. Well, gouache. I'm calling this gouache because it's watercolor mixed with gouache, so it's basically gouache, but yeah. A gouache wash. Yeah. Gouache is like rogue in the sense that a lot of people write instead of gouache. What is the usual typo? Is it like Gauche? Like gauche? Yeah, I've seen a lot of gauche, like Gauche, which is basically left. Yeah, it's me purring, of course. You all know I'm a cat anyway, right? Are bunnies usually fine with other pets in the house, or is it like any other pets? It really depends on the context. Like if they were always with other pets, they will be fine, but if you suddenly bring in a pet, they're gonna rebel against it. Hi, Dan. I'm mixing from these colors. Does it show? So there's a kind of leaf green, a sap green, phthalo green, black, umber, something like Venetian red, Van Dyke brown, I think. Permanent alizarin crimson, maybe. Red, orange, phthalo blue, green shade, ultramarine blue, yellow ochre, the orangey yellow and yellow, and a lot of white gouache. Yeah. I'm using watercolor and white gouache. Sorry, did I miss anything in the chat? Oh no! You guys are completely on to weird stuff. Yep, definitely. Yeah, that's some really weird stuff. It's always Heather's fault. Whatever happens, it's probably Heather's fault. So, I am not sure what I'm doing. I'm really just trying to make a scene that's a bit interesting using the reference I have. I'm not sure if it will work, if it will look like anything, but yeah. Gotta let some of this dry because I'm just making a mess. I have some pan gouache paint. Does tube gouache re-wet just the same if you left it out overnight? Yes. If you want to get a good the texture for your gouache, you pre-wet it, like you add some water to it and you wait for 10-15 minutes, and then you're gonna be able to reuse your gouache. It's not gonna be pasty like the paste, but you will be able to work the gouache anyway. I'm checking. I am checking the Wow, okay. This looks like butt. Yep. Good size of butt. So this stuff is hard. Like, no wonder it's a class and you got assignments and work. It's super difficult. This is me being impatient and not letting this stupid area dry before I attack it again, and I really should let it dry because it's not gonna look any better if I just pile more paint on top of more paint. Alright, I'm giving this one a rest because it looks like not good, and I don't see a point in fighting on with it for now. I will just give my brain a break and see if I can rescue it later. This one is still a mess. I don't want to push it down because it's gonna pick up all the wet paint underneath. And that doesn't sound like a good plan. Okay, so this is the one. The first one without borders. Sometimes these things, they really look like nothing until you remove the borders, which, you know, kind of gives it a chance. A fighting chance, perhaps. So yeah, not sure what I gained in knowledge from doing this one, but that's the thing. This one is just complete mess. I'm really gonna have to let it dry and see how I can maybe rescue this mess. That's the good thing by using gouache in the mix, is that I can get some kind of opaque color that I can help cover the stuff that didn't work. So yeah. I think I will end this here because it's getting quite late for a lot of us, and so very, very late for some of us. Question: do you like the Honey Mule watercolor book? I am not sure so far. I haven't painted a lot of things in it. Seems like a good enough paper. Like pen and wash, ink pen and wash worked really well. It doesn't, like, so far the only thing I've noticed is that it doesn't really like if you leave painter's tape on it too long. Like, I had prepared a painting and I had the tape on there for maybe a week, maybe more, and when I removed it, it peeled off a bit of the paper. That's usually standard stuff for the, like, painter's tape. If you look at any painter's tape, it says safe to remove within X number of days, and I was past that number of days, so I guess that's to be expected then. But yeah, I like that I can use both sides of the paper so far, and texture is great. And it's not too buckly either, but then again it's a really small size, so yeah. I don't know if a heat tool would help. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if a heat tool would help remove the tape. I usually don't like to take out the heat tool just for that. So I try to work fast or call it quit and remove the tape. But yeah, I will try to salvage this one. I am not sure what can be done, but I kind of hate having a page in a sketchbook that's like clearly unfinished, or you know, like something else could be done with it. Worst case scenario, I'm just gonna put gesso on top and put something different. This is watercolor with white gouache, so it's a bit like gouache, but you can have more transparency depending on the colors you use. So yeah, I will be streaming tomorrow anyway for Saturday. I am not sure what about yet. If you have any special requests, you can throw them at me right now. But yeah, if the backup plan is always to draw more pets, but if you guys want to see something specific, I will try to prepare for that. But you guys are too busy talking about weird stuff in the chat. So all right, so I hope you all enjoy your Friday and have a great Friday. And try not to burst into songs about Friday. You know what I mean. And we will see each other possibly tomorrow. So enjoy your evening or the afternoon or the rest of the day, and see you soon. Bye bye.